All right, I have another technology tip that I wanted to share with you guys. I said I'd make a video going over how to do a linear regression in your calculator. So I'm going to do it both in the 83 and the 84 so you can see the similarities. So let me start with 84. To get a scatter plot, you're going to go to your stat menu. And of course that's going to be stat, and then just press enter. And you want to list two lists of data. So this should look familiar. This is the social media numbers that we were working with in our lessons. So this is L1 and L2. To get the scatter plot, you would go to second y equals and turn your plot on. The good news about a scatter plot is it is the default plot. So that first one is going to be that. You can change the markings if you want. And zoom 9, that's zoom stat, will get you a fit that works with that. Now you're going to want to get a line of best fit and a correlation, and you can do that on here as well. So let's start with the line of best fit. You can do stat, calc, and in this class we actually like to do a plus bx. That's the way that the format for AP stats works. So it's your y-intercept plus your slope times x. So we're going to go to 8. And we want to use L1. I don't know why that says L2, but it should be X list is L1, L2. And you actually have the option where you can store this into your y equals if you'd like. You can do that by doing alpha trace. Alpha trace, it brings up a y variable menu. And I would just put that right in y1. If you don't do that, it's not a big deal. You can type it into y1 and you can click calculate. So you might remember these numbers from Statlet, 26.9167 and 16.3452. Those are the same numbers. By having it stored into Y1, it automatically puts that in there for you. So you'll see that equation. And it doesn't round it, so it just puts everything in there. And if you press graph, it should then put a line through that because you have it sorted in your y equals. Now, if you didn't bother storing it in your y equals, you could always go to your y equals and retype it in there. And get rid of all that extra stuff. I forget all the other numbers with that, but that's not a big deal. It's close enough where you get the idea. Now I want to be a little bit more accurate, so I'll do it one more time and have it stored in there. Oops. So stat calc 8, and then alpha trace y1. If you do that, it's going to give you the most accurate number you can. So there it is again. Now let me show you on the TI-83. All right, so you're going to do stat edit, and you don't have as much visible here, but you're still going to put those same numbers in there for L1 and L2. You're going to go to second y equals, turn your plot on. Your default's your scatter plot. Make sure your L1, second one, is your X list, and your L2, second 2, is your Y list. And you're going to do zoom 9, that's zoom stat. And there's your scatter plot. You can draw your line of best fit, stat calc 8. Now, if you want that to be stored into Y1, I believe you have to do this. You're going to do L1, comma. Actually, let me try that. I don't think you need the L1. You're going to do vars. That's this number. Y vars. Function y1. There's no shortcut to that. So again, you're going to do, let me do it again. Stat calc 8 vars y-vars function y1. And there's your function. If I did this right, fingers crossed, it's been a while since I used an A3, it does put it in there. And then you can hit graph, and there's your line. All right, so how do we get R? Well, it's a little bit easier on here. On these calculators, you would hit mode, and down here it says stat diagnostics, we have to turn them on. Stat diagnostics on. So on 84, stat diagnostics on. You have to calculate it again, stat calc 8. You don't have to store it in Y1 if you don't want to, but to get the R, you have to make sure your stat diagnostics are on, and there's your R. 0.941 was your R value for this. That's your correlation. We'll talk about R squared another day, but that's your correlation, 0.941. How do we do it on the 83? You're going to go to second 0. You're going to go to your catalog. I don't know of a shorter way to do this, unfortunately. So you do second 0. And you're going to go down. I guess you can press up. That's probably quicker. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's diagnostics. Pardon me while I go through pretty much everything on here. We're getting close. Now in the future, press down because it's D. I thought it was stat diagnostics. So diagnostic on. Now every time you clear memory, you have to change that. So the diagnostics are on. We're going to do it again. Stat calc 8. And there's your R. Diagnostics on will get you your R value. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for watching.